90.5, the Flavor Station, Florida A&M, Homecoming 2019. FAMU, I'm Coming Home, brought to you by DJ Zoe Crazy, and I'm Dame Dozha, sitting here with Ariane Turner, psychology major from Atlanta, Georgia.
That's right.
How are you enjoying yourself this homecoming?
It feels good to be back.
Absolutely,
It does.
absolutely. So let's start. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did that psychology major land you, and what you got going on?
So it's really interesting. I studied psychology while here at Florida A&M, but I paid for school by doing makeup. So that was always my little side hustle.
Okay.
I worked at Dillard's, and that's actually where I first was introduced to makeup. I started doing makeup for a calendar series that I don't know if it's still active. I'm sure it's not, but it was called Fantasy World at the time.
Oh, yeah, I remember that calendar.
So you remember Fantasy World. So I was doing makeup at Dillard's for friends around campus and for Fantasy World models. And so that's how I got started with makeup. And so I took that experience, my psychology degree, moved back to Atlanta, and have been doing makeup for film and television for the past 10 years now.
All right. So what were some of the struggles that you remember getting adjusted to being a Florida A&M student?
I think honestly, I think it was a lot of life skills. I was raised as an only child. So community bathrooms, sharing a dorm room, that all was a huge learning curve to me. Learning how to manage money better. I mean, I had some money skills, but I don't know. It's a different story when you're for real on your own. So that was a struggle, to say the least. But that was it. I mean, there was a huge network of friends that I had from high school that came down here, and then you met people, and they instantly, like, family is a real thing.
Right.
It's a real thing from the moment you step on campus. So,
what was a surprise that you encountered when you know, something that people don't know about HBCUs? What were you surprised about when you initially started?
I think that I was surprised by how invested the professors were in our day-to-day life and our well-being. I mean, in high school, I had really, really great teachers, great professors that, that cared about whether or not I graduated. But I thought college was going to just be a little bit more impersonal. I just figured it would be education on a much grander scale, larger scale, and they wouldn't have the time to really connect. But that wasn't the case. Office hours turned into me being able to establish some really good personal relationships with all of my professors. So
and you just had to be there.
Yeah.
If you went to class and did what you had to do, they would take you under your wing if need be. There was great guidance, even in some of the larger classrooms.
Exactly. I was surprised by that.
Right.
Like, even in this huge, large forum, like, these people were still very much invested in us.
Let's talk about being in the beauty industry as opposed to psychology, like you said. So you still doing makeup?
I absolutely do, yeah. So earlier this year, I finished Bad Boys 3, so that'll be out in January.
Oh, wow.
So that was cool. I did that. A ton of projects, like almost anything that's on television. Atlanta is just a huge market for film and television right now, and so anything that's been on TV, from The Walking Dead to almost all of your BT shows, Tyler Perry projects.
Black Hollywood.
Black Hollywood, yeah.
So you was able to go back home after being here for A&M. Did you go anywhere else?
No, I went back home and I thought for a second, okay, I'm going to have to move to LA if I want to be a part of this film industry. But we got a tax incentive, and LA came to us. And so I was able to stay home and keep my roots grounded, which I'm happy about.
Yeah. So speaking of hanging out and partying, right? Did you ever go to the Garden?
I did.
The Garden or the Louvre, which gave you a better party experience?
The Garden.
And why was that?
I remember walking there. The Garden was the one that was like an old dance studio?
Yeah, it felt like a ballet room.
It was like a ballet room, and you could hold on to the bar. I remember that bar. Yeah.
With the mirror,
with the mirrored
wall
walls.
mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the walls would get sweaty.
Yes.
That was it.
Right. And then the epic walks towards the garden and the epic walks from the garden.
Those walks.
And the first couple of weeks, the first couple of days, that's when the cliques were formed, friendships and bonds were made going to the Garden. What are some of your plans other than CPA later on today? What you got going on?
Well, that's the biggest thing on the agenda. Convocation this morning was really important for me to attend to, represent the class of 99, like you said, in our endowment, but also to just feel the spirit and the energy of FAMU as a whole. So that was really important. No matter what night we have, we're going to wake up early, we're going to make it to convocation. So that was definitely something I had to do. Not sure about the parade, but I'll definitely be at the game. I'm excited about that. Just kind of going with the flow, honestly. The biggest thing was giving. And so now that check has been, will be presented tomorrow. After that, it'll be like a huge sigh of relief, and then we can party for real, for real.
And continue to give back. Any closing shout outs that you want to give, or anybody you want to point out?
No, nobody that I could think of. You. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having our other wonderful alumni. And no, everybody that's listening, give support. I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from this weekend and our whole experience raising money for the endowment that we left was everybody is able to give. Just give where you are. You don't have to. Everybody's not in a position to pay off student debt like Homeboy did at Morehouse, but we all have something that we can do. We can sacrifice eating out. We can say we're not going to Uber this week. We can, whatever it is, not buy an outfit for homecoming and, donate that money instead. There's always a way to give. So I just encourage everybody to kind of dig in, dig deep, figure out what you have and make a contribution, give back, pull somebody else up as you climb.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm Dame Dozha, and here at 90.5, the Flavor Station on Florida A&M's campus, it's Homecoming Night 2019, and this is FAMU, I'm Coming Home, brought to you by DJ Zoe Crazy, Mrs. Ariane.
You got it.
Turner. I worked on that.
You got it.
From Atlanta, thank you for being a part of this, and happy homecoming to you and everyone that's listening. It's Dame Dozha, Florida A&M, the 90.5 Flavor Station, and we're out.
Yes.